Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins come to you again, not from my car, but still beautiful San Antonio, Texas, second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are doing good today. We're having a conversation today that was birthed from a conversation in a leadership meeting this morning about when we really know that we truly value something or that something is or is not really a standard. And as long as there's agreement, that value is never really in question. Someone can say, I value excellence. I value excellence. And excellence may be happening all over the place, but when something enters the equation, especially if it's connected to a relationship, and excellence does not show up, silence is assumed to mean consent in many cases. And so now you have the opportunity for conflict. And believe it or not, a lot of people really want to avoid conflict for a lot of different valid reasons. People tend to avoid conflict or avoid confrontation because, well, I'll just, make me feel bad to say something to them. Well, I don't want to offend them. And understandably so. And yet, at the end of the day, if something is a standard or a value, it demands conversation. One of the things I tell our coaching clients regularly is we get paid the big bucks to have the hard conversations. Anybody can have the easy conversations. It's the hard conversations. And you'll notice in almost any profession, the harder the conversation, typically the higher the income, which is an interesting thing when you think about physicians or emergency room doctors or attorneys litigating in a courtroom. You begin to think about easy or hard conversations. Can you imagine being the physician in the lab coat coming in with the MRI results to the family with the 3-year-old without good news? Can you imagine having to deliver the news of a sentencing to a client? There's some challenges to that. And so I get people's desire to not have to engage in confrontation. Yet, remember this, and it's said many times over and over again, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. There has to be a point when what you say you value, when it comes into conflict, you actually value because you speak up and you take a stand. At some point, you have to take a stand. So we were discussing this morning with Katie, staying true to yourself and to your standards and values, especially in this season where some people can get down. It's very challenging for a lot of people who have childhood memories that they just are not happy about, or they may have lost loved ones, or it may be a very painful time. Stick to what you know to be true is my suggestion. Stick to what you know to be true. And remember, the quickest way to get out of the feelings of negativity and sadness or loneliness is in service to other people. There are people in much tougher positions than the majority of us. And you must remember this. Everybody wants to feel appreciated. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. And everybody really wants to be heard. Simply being there to hear or to listen could be an incredible gift that you give somebody during this season. So remember this. If you think you value something and you're afraid to stand up for it, it's just a pipe dream. It's not really real. There's an old saying that true submission cannot occur until there's a disagreement. And then at some point, someone really demonstrates if humility is a key factor and a key value, well, humility enters into that conversation and there's a submission or an acknowledgement to honor another person. Honor is a non-issue until there's a disagreement. Who will you honor? Ego is a big one that gets in the way for a lot of people. So my charge to you again today is this. We are at our weakest moments when we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, emotionally wrought. And it's easy to compromise our convictions on the altar of convenience when we're down. Don't compromise your convictions on the altar of convenience. Don't make a permanent decision during a temporary frustration. Remember to stay true to who you are. And as you do, you grow stronger. Have a great day, guys.